Hey guys, welcome back. Your Eternal Reward is a really good knife with a really clunky name, so to make this video less painful, I am going to entitle it The Dagger, because that fits its medieval look and is easier to say. The Dagger has been clowned upon as the worst spy knife by most of the TF2 community for a very long time, myself included. You know the stats, and if not, read this. Being able to instantly morph into the person you backstab has some interesting implications for gameplay, but I want to focus on the silent killer effect for now, because a stat screen doesn't exactly paint a complete picture. See, when you plunge a knife into an unsuspecting enemy's back, this happens. TF2 players have grown particularly attentive to spies. Being backstabbed isn't just frustrating, it's humiliating, because you got fooled. So when a teammate screams out like they've been hooked up to a car battery, people turn around and start shooting teammates to make sure one of them isn't an imposter.
Among Us.
The Dagger is a silent killer. Enemies will not scream when backstabbed. The enemy team is not notified via the kill feed, and the corpse of the person you just stabbed disappears completely. Not only that, Spy's normal voice lines that play when he backstabs someone do not play if you have the Dagger equipped. He keeps his mouth shut for once. So the only way to notice if the spy is killing people is to look at him, right? Wrong. Kinda. Like mentioned above, upon backstab you instantly disguise yourself as the person you killed. And I mean instant. There are no puffs of smoke. You don't even see the spy swing his knife. The disguise happens so fast that enemy sentry guns cannot target you. Look at this. I kill several people in full view of 2 sentry guns, but I am not shot by them once. Not to mention, if I backstab somebody who is currently being healed, I not only take their shape, but the medic's healing beam instantly locks onto me. The transition is seamless. The biggest weakness of disguises is information. If you see a soldier walking up, but you know your team's soldier is on the other side of the map, you're probably gonna shoot him. However, if I stab a sniper with the Dagger, his body disappears, and his team sees me looking like their sniper, standing about where their sniper was, it does so much to help convince the enemy that you're one of them for just a split second longer, which is usually all it takes. I can literally stab an entire group of people before any but the last of them notice me. But let's talk about the downsides for a minute. If you disguise without killing somebody, your entire cloak meter is drained, which also means you cannot manually disguise with a less than full cloak meter. Also, your cloak drains way faster with this equipped. These downsides, to me, aren't all that bad. Spy is the hardest class to play, bar none, so most people like to stay invisible as much as possible. They equip the Cloak and Dagger, the L'étranger, and they do eventually contribute to the team, most of the time. What the Dagger does is kick the training wheels off. No cloak, no disguise. You gotta earn your kills, young man. In order to succeed with this knife, you need to have a basic understanding of how to play effectively, and enough muscle memory to carry that knowledge out consistently. This is not a knife for beginners, but once you get to the point of competency as Spy, give it a whirl. Seriously. I tend to combine the Dagger with the Invis Watch and Diamondback. You have to be much more careful about using invisibility with this loadout, only turning it on when absolutely necessary. Plus, the Diamondback stores up monumental amounts of crits from all the stabbing you can do, so it tends to help when you're caught out and want to sneak in one more frag. Seriously, I dropped a medic across the map with this. I'm really coming around on the Diamondback. I talked some trash about it in a previous video, but like almost every TF2 weapon, it's really, really good when used properly. Also, the Enforcer works out well with this knife since you spend so much more time disguised. Yeah, this knife is so good it actually gives the honorary worst revolver a chance at the spotlight. Anyone who calls this a bad knife is just bad at Spy. I don't mean trick stabs, I mean acting and pretending to be an enemy. Here, I see a soldier fall into this wash, so I drop down, kill him, and now disguised, I walk out on the other side. I pretend to be retreating from my teammates, pass up a kill on this pyro so I can stop the much more dangerous sniper from murdering my team, and yeah, somebody saw me. The one scenario in which the Dagger will not save you is if you kill somebody in full view of their teammates. The Dagger is pretty obvious if you're watching the whole time, but it's honestly really hard to spot if you look away for even a second. Here's a scenario. You come across a group of people. You could stab any of them and take their shape, but doing so might be risky since it would be in full view of everyone. Who do you target? It's easy. Wait for one person to leave the group, pick them off, and return the same way they left. Nobody will suspect a thing. It's kind of like being a serial killer in a slasher movie. Alright, Body Snatcher, I've gone on for several minutes about how good this thing is, so I hope I've been able to convince you. It's not Spy's best knife, that spot probably still belongs to the kunai, but it's a close second in my opinion. And hey, it doesn't make people think you're a weeaboo. Although if you're playing Spy, some people might make that assumption no matter what knife you use.
If there are any unicorns prettier than me, I will find them. I will follow them, and no one will ever see those unicorns again.